Hello, 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 hello. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Al Stock Trades. How's everybody doing today? All right. Hopefully, the microphone is working. I had some technical difficulties. So I think this is one of the dogs that, so, okay. So I don't know what happened here, but it looks like one of the dogs was nibbling, or I don't know what happened. But my wire, this is for the microphone, right? This is for the microphone, and the USB-C was not attached to the wire, so I had to figure out kind of what's going on with the mic. So I had to. Oh, is it HDMI? I thought it was a no. This is a USB-C port, right? Or maybe it's not a micro HDMI, is it? No, it says USB-C. But I had to find a USB-C that not just charges, but delivers data, which allows me to speak into the microphone and then you guys can hear it. So, anywho, that's why I was late. I was like, oh man, what is this? And then I was trying to figure out the corporate, and I was trying to basically figure out kind of who did this in terms of, because I'm in Phoenix now. And when I figured out who it was, I was trying to find where he was, and he was hard. He was hard to find. I was like, where is the culprit? Where is the dog that did this? And I'm looking and trying to find where the dog is. Can you guys see where the dog is by any chance? Can you see? Let me see here. Michelle, can you come here? Let me see if Michelle can find the dog. Right? This guy, oh, he's right there. You can see he's right there. This dog is a mischievous person. I'll tell you, he's so mischievous, right? He's camouflaging, right? He's trying to hide, right? You know, I was able to figure him out. That tail's a different color, boy, right? All right. Anyway, guys, let's get back to business. I just wanted to explain why I was late, right? Right. He's so freaking cute. Let me just look at him. I just want to squeeze him in the pillows. Okay, so all right. Yeah, he's yeah. Oh, I love him. All right, so let's get to work and answer the question that we have in regards to Michael Burry. He just bought Molina and Oscar. So let me go ahead and let me just open up a few things here. Let's open up Twitter or X and oh boy, let's see where we're at. We posted this here. We'll just kind of rehash it without having to reinvent the wheel. We'll just re-put this here. All right. So we'll do that, and then we will look at something here called stubborn. Oh, stubborn. Okay. All right. There it is. Okay. Actually, you know what? She kind of looked like this, actually. There's a more accurate representation. All right, we'll talk about that. Okay. And hopefully this video can be relatable. All right. So let me go ahead and let's look at the questions here. Let's go. Hi, Mr. Burry. Let me know about Clover Brother. He's missing out. Oh, let him know. Good evening from Belgium. I sense that something big is brewing. Me too. I love crunching numbers. Let's do this. Mikey, what's going on? Al has the billionaire mentality now. He's going to show up fashionably late every time now, wearing Chamat's cashmere sweater and drinking and the wine from Italy. Nah, man, screw that, dude. I don't think I'm gonna wear cashmere sweaters, to be honest. I don't. You know what? Maybe I might have 3 or 4. Right? I might have 4, but if the problem is if it's itchy, I'm not gonna wear that, right? But we'll see, right? Those cashmeres do look nice, right? But I'm probably gonna buy the fake cashmere, okay? Because I rather have the wheel have that money for the wheel strategy. Okay. Why would someone want a taste of beer but no alcohol? That's nuts. Okay. All right. Right. It's like never mind. I don't want to get in trouble when I was going to say something appropriate, but we're live here. I tried to see I would get a buzz, but it didn't taste bad. Okay. What's going on? Let's look at the comments here. All right. So Let's go ahead and talk just very quickly about this just experience I've had. Now, have you ever recognized this, guys, when you're like talking to your friend and all of a sudden, you talk about a concept and a topic, and then all of a sudden, you hear it in you know you hear it in the world. You're like, oh my god, I just had this conversation. It's I don't think you always ask yourself kind of why this happens. Now, I don't think it's because we're in a simulation. Now, I think maybe potentially we might be, but I think it's all about kind of how the brain focuses on things. The brain tends to focus on things that are relevant, right? So, I've been, in the golf course and going to a little bar and just going around the city in Phoenix talking to folks. And, a lot of these conversations somehow, especially with kind of the market yesterday being down, I had this one lady that she was very, very serious and very angry about her 401k, right? She was saying $10 trillion were evaporated all because Trump can bring in a couple billions. Now, again, these are, in every, how do I say this? My brain operates differently from all of you guys, right? And your brains operate differently from me. And my goal is I'm trying to show you how, I think, because it's allowed me to figure out a way through this nepotism manipulated system that we live in the world. And I was able to, again, it's not about money, but I was able to make large sums of money and be able to become successful. And it's through a pattern and behavior that I've learned that I'm trying to teach to all of you. What I've recognized is there are certain types of beliefs and mentalities that don't make, again, it's not about money, but these types of mentalities don't make money. And these mentalities, it's almost like a base training. They've been trained to stay poor. Okay. They've been trained to stay poor, right? Which kind of goes into our title, which is here's why you're still broke, right? So I just want to touch a little bit on this because perhaps maybe we may have some of these ladies that are listening into this phone call, or maybe these guys. I doubt it, because if you're watching and listening, I believe there's a high probability that maybe about 75-80% of you are like, see it. You see it, you believe it, you know what's going on. 10% of you are like, man, I see what this guy's saying. It's making sense, but I just don't have the conviction yet. And then let's say the other 10% or 5%, they're like, I hate Al. Screw this guy. I want this guy to burn in hell. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Okay. But I will tell you something. I was speaking to this lady and she was saying that $10 trillion left, all because Trump can make billions. Okay. Yes. That is one true statement. That line is factual. People like this usually have one factual line. And then once they have one factual line, the other stuff they say has a composition of bullshit. Okay. And it's funny because I like to isolate where they got their information from. So if you go ahead and look at Democratic talking heads, you will see them say $10 trillion gone from the market, vanished, all because Trump can make billions, a couple billions here and there. Okay. You can tell kind of where data came from, even now, again, from the MAGA side, right? People from the Trump side, right? You can see that they're just repeating the talking heads of what are, of where that, I want to call it, let's say, cult section is of society. I challenge you, for the people that are watching this channel, and again, we're not fancy here, right? We have a bunch of tabs open on Google. Yeah, we have fancy software. Yeah, we have that, right? But I challenge you guys. I'm trying to zoom this out here. There it is. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. OCD. Right. But I challenge you guys. To think for yourselves, to not just listen to something on TV or listen to something or someone that you think is credible and actually challenge yourself to think through first principles. Just because Elon said something, I want you to challenge it and think about it through first principles. Just because Trump, you know how many people believe what Trump says to gospel? It's the art of negotiation and the art of the deal. There's a lot of things that are said that are not true, but guess what? That's part of how he works, right? But people just believe in everything he says. The media, you know, how many times have you think Vox or CNN has lied and has gotten sued? Let me show you. CNN sued for defamation. Okay, here it is. CNN settles with U.S. Navy veteran after defamation verdict, right? They were wrong and they settled, right? These news stations, but again, how much money have they won in the interim of playing these games? Okay, so the point that I'm bringing to you is when I was talking to this lady, I said, okay, so when you say $10 trillion have vanished, where do you think it goes? Where is it? She's like, well, the billionaires have it. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, so when do you think it's going to recover? She said, it's not going to recover. It's going to take 10, 15 years to recover. And I'm like, actually, on average, anywhere between 480 to 560 days. She's like, no, that's bullshit. That's not going to take that long. That's too short. It's going to take longer, 10 years. I've seen this play out. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, when have you ever seen a recession last longer than 10 years? Okay. Right. So the thing is, this lady I was speaking to has fixed false beliefs. For all the doctors out there, when someone comes to you with fixed false beliefs, what is that from a psychiatric diagnosis? That is delusional disorder, right? She is delusional. And a lot of people out there in the world that are all fluttering around, walking around, and you are the people that are watching this channel, right? Honestly, B-Rob, Al, is your dog named Wall Street? You know what, man? I should name my dog Wall Street. Come here, Wall Street. Get over here. Sit down. That's right. Sit down. Shake, Wall Street. Shake, right? Imagine, right? Kneel before me, Wall Street. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so all right. So you guys watching this channel, some of you have expressed this almost like here, let me see if I can raise this mic so I don't have to bend down my neck. Does this even work? Let me see. This whole microphone has been destroyed by Wall Street, you know, by my dog named Wall Street, right? Maybe I should name him that, right? He doesn't want me to you know, spread the knowledge. Let's see here. All right, whatever. Let me just screw this mic back on. Okay. Jesus. Let me make sure. Righty is tighty, isn't it? All right. Mic is screwed back on. All right. So let me preface this. A lot of you guys have started to notice this. You guys are saying, Al, this is really weird. I'm walking downtown and I'm looking at all these people walking and they don't see what's coming. They don't see that all their jobs are about to soon be replaced. They don't see it. And here I am walking and I feel like I'm the only one that is seeing this. Guys, listen, I've been like that my whole life. Okay. Imagine having all this knowledge and seeing all of these stocks go up because seeing the money just go from left point A to point B to point C to point D, Wall Street playing their game over and over again, right? A lot of you guys now that are watching, you understand, especially folks that are in lifetime, because you have access to all this information, you do understand that you have all these people that whatever city you're in, I'm in Phoenix right now and I'm looking down at Phoenix and I'm seeing all the people moving around like marbles hitting each other that are literally programmed to stay poor, that are part of the system, that they are non-player characters, a bunch of NPCs marbling around doing Nothing. While the big boys make the decisions, while the big boys tell them how to think. This lady I was speaking to, she is programmed to be angry. Every time the media has a narrative, they put a chip in her head, and the chip basically represents the way on how she is supposed to think. She is the representation of the simulation that we live in, right? That's the only thing she serves a purpose for. She serves a purpose for people like myself to essentially enhance the quality of the simulation. What I'm trying to teach you is a way to break out of this box, to break out of this cycle of waking up in the morning, putting on your work shirt, right? Putting on your shoes and going out there into this 9 to 5 bullshit to work for something that does not care about you, to work for a machine that doesn't care. Now, I get it. We need people to row the boat, right? And luckily, this channel is not big enough to actually cause some type of cosmic change to affect the workforce in America. But for the people that are actually listening, that say, I don't want to row the boat anymore. I'm tired of rowing the boat. My wife's tired of, watching me come home at night while my kids have already been fast asleep. I'm tired of watching my kids grow up without having a father there. There is a way out, okay? So it's interesting to speak to this lady, and I realized that I could literally show her the path to becoming a millionaire, and she won't go down that path because she has fixed false beliefs. But it's okay, because these are the type of people that will sell their 401k at the bottom. You should thank her because she's an NPC, right? You should thank her because she's giving you a good deal. You should thank her because she's giving you a pathway to buy low and sell high. Because when stocks do go up, the news will input in her brain that it's okay. Stocks are great. You should buy. And don't worry, she will be there right next to your side. And she will purchase the stocks when it goes higher above its intrinsic value. This lady will always be there for you to serve your needs, to enhance the simulation. And all that this person is an NPC, a non-player character, a character that is only used to enhance the people that are actually playing the game of Wall Street, playing the game of capitalism. You understand what I'm trying to point out? See it for yourself. Go to the bar. Go out there. Go talk to someone. Tell them about what you think about the stock market. What do you think about real Wall Street? What do you think about buying stocks? They'll tell you it's a gamble. They'll tell you this and that and this. In any case, that's enough about here's why you're still broke. Okay? Let's go ahead and look at the comments. Come on, Oscar. All right. I hate Al. Screw that guy. I am the original OG homeless person from 18 to 24. Got a degree and my own private practice now. Gonna be a rich bitch, right? Through life is I appreciate you, right? And that's the thing. I found a hole in the system, and I realized that people that exploit this hole, this glitch in the system, as per your name, win. What does winning look like? Winning looks like not having to work. You're going to work, right? But doing work that you love, doing work that's meaningful to you. That's what it looks like. And I'm telling you, it's hard. Trust me, this is a hard game. Okay. Wall Street choose the cord to stop Al from spread. You know what's funny? Let me tell you something. Okay. And let's see if they corrected it, because I find this very funny. Are you ready? Who are YouTubers that have talked about Clover Health CLOV stock? Let's see. Let's see if they fixed it. Oh, they fixed it. Okay. I found it funny because 2 days ago, it wouldn't even show my channel, right? I find it very interesting. Which like and maybe also I'm typing it wrong. What are the YouTubers names that talk about Clover Health CLOV stock? Let's see if it's able to do it. Okay, good. They updated it. Before, it didn't even mention me. It didn't even mention. And I find that very suspicious. And that was 3 days ago, right? I've sent a complaint to OpenAI, and I said, that's interesting that you're not citing someone who has over 800 videos on Clover Health. Isn't that funny? Right? So they fixed it. The point is, it's we have been shadow banned on a lot of platforms because we are talking about Clove. And it's funny because we will be unshadow banned by the time it's too late. By the time the stock rises up to 4 or 5,000%, it'll be too late, right? But it is what it is, right? I mean, again, I don't control the media, right? YouTube and Google and OpenAI and all that, they have their own billionaires and a group that I'm not a part of, okay? So, you try your best, and I'm using the system in which they have, and I'm trying to be able to reach you guys, right? And I hope what I'm saying makes sense, okay? Um, let's see. I was listening to the song at work. My colleagues were like, what the F, your stock has a stock soundtrack?" Alan got the secret in his hands. Fortune rising on the Clover brand. I love it. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It references Sean. It literally, like, I have to. Let me see if I can find it to you guys, so you can see that I'm. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure this out. Now watch this. I asked a question. This is how BS this is. Who is who is known, on YouTube for making Clover Health CLOV stock videos? Sean Stocks, Benzinga, which we're on good terms with. They're going to be doing an interview with us. I need to set up a time, right? Clover Health official channel. I'm like, who else? Raz Report, Fintel. Who else? Business, financial education, which is like, like Jeremy. Like, what about All Stock Trades? Yes, All Stock Trades, a prominent YouTuber, which is known. I'm like, what the hell? So I made a complaint to OpenAI. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, are you serious? Who the hell did that? I mean, you see this or no? Because it doesn't make sense. You Google Clove stock, you go to images, and you see me. You don't have to mention All Stock Trades. You go to videos and look at all the you see me. I'm everywhere, right? So obviously, there's something interesting happening in the background here. And again, I don't have proof other than what I just showed you, right? But I just find it very interesting. So let's go ahead, and because it's earnings for Tesla, let's see how Tesla's doing. Did they report? No one cares about the results. Let's see.
Tesla reports 20% drop in auto. Revenue in its first quarter results missed. Wall Street estimates.
Okay.
Tesla missed on the top and bottom lines in its first quarter earnings report. Automotive revenue plunged 20% from a year earlier. The stock, down 41% so far this year, was little changed in extended trading.
Interesting. So the stock didn't change, even though there was a 20% drop. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our AI go through the earnings report. We're going to parcel it to see what's going on. But you know what this tells me? It tells me that potentially, because there's no drop, I think we may have bottomed out for Tesla. I think so, which means this is actually pretty bullish. the fact that the stock's down 37% and they did post bad earnings, it shows me that we may have been bottoming out. I think a deal is slowly approaching. We are starting to see the fluctuations and spikes in VIXs the VIX slowly starting to slow down. So I think we're slowly on a downtrend. And we did break out of a key level of resistance on the S&P 500. So we can go on the week and I can show you what I'm talking about here. We can draw a line. I don't know why we draw a line here. We can draw one here. We can do this. We can also do this too. This one touches the most. We could do this. And we'll make this line really red. We'll make it very thick. And then we'll go on the daily. And you could see that we've been having slight breakouts, but we've been falling short. But we just got a breakout now. Maybe third time's a charm. This breakout may cause an upward momentum rally. But we are stabilizing around this Fibonacci. So the point that I'm trying to see is, are we ready? Because we broke the 200-day. Are we ready to start recalibrating and recapturing? Obviously, we got to get to the next Fibonacci sequence at 5,500. If we can get there, then we can start this, L-shaped recovery, right? Last time we broke out of the 200-day, it was in 2023. A little bit in 2023. In 2022, right, we broke out of it, right? It took about a year, then we recovered back up. Of course, 2020 pandemic. Then, of course, the Trump 1.0 tariff war. Okay? So that's kind of where we're at right now. We're going to see. And again, everyone gets excited. Bull market, bull market, bull market. It starts dropping and everyone starts freaking out. When in reality, this is the best time to buy. Okay? So this green line here is what we're looking at to see if potentially we may be entering a phase where we can start rallying, that a potential deal may come about. In fact, if you look at Nike, interestingly gapped up more than the norm. It gapped up pretty heavily, and the question is, a lot of the manufacturing in Nike is in Vietnam, so someone knows something, and just kind of follow the money, because the money is a representation of greed, and people do illegal things when it comes to greed, and you'll see it from the technical analysis side of things from a short-term perspective, right? So, B-Rob, if you think that the S&P 500 being down 9%, less than 10% on the year, and it was a little more, it was like 15%. If you think this is if you think a 10% drop on the S&P 500 is a plummet, then brother, you need to do some research, brother. Right? You need to do some research. Okay. Now you can argue Clover and whatnot is dropped, but that's a high beta stock. S&P does bad, Clover does bad. S&P does good, Clover does really good. So again, it's all about perspective. Okay. So I haven't looked into it. Do some research on the research section of the due diligence and tag me in the Discord, and we'll look at it utilizing our software. I'm curious to look at it to see. But let's go ahead now. Let's talk about Molina. And let's shift gears to talk about Michael Burry. So interestingly, let's take a look at Molina here. So Molina went all the way to $423 back in not early, I would say, early 2024. Then it dropped. And then it's been trying to pop over the S&P, the 200-day moving average for the S&P, and now it's kind of in the stagnation area. And Michael Burry just bought, specifically, he bought right here, Molina, he bought 25,000 shares. Then for Oscar, he bought 200,000 shares. Okay. So let's try to figure out kind of what's going on, and let's run the numbers for these. And the reason why I want to talk to you guys about Molina is because if you don't recall, let me pull up the news report from Clover Health. Thomas L. Tran, former chief financial officer of Molina Healthcare, joins Clover Health's board of directors. So the former CFO of Molina joined Clover Health's as board of directors. Now, perhaps, maybe they signed a contract with Molina to help them out. Again, I don't know. But the fact that Burry is an investor, and Burry likes, again, he's a fundamentalist, right? Benjamin Graham and Charlie Munger era. This should show you that since Burry has, some neck and some skin in the game for Oscar and Molina. Again, about 20, was it how many shares for Molina? Right? About 25,000 shares in Molina. So if you look at Molina right now, right? So how I was able to figure out is I just read that 25,000. So you just look at this and type in 25K. So right now he has about $8 million in Molina, right? $8 million in Molina.
8,029,000.
Okay. So that's interesting, right? Because it's about 8 million. And the question you have to ask yourself is, his holdings are not that large, in terms of other stocks, right? He's not, he's only holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's in this HCA used to be part of our own holdings from our portfolio hedging modeling system. But it's very interesting. Okay. So the question is, why would he invest in Molina? Usually his investments are pretty deep in the value area, like JD or Baba. And I'm surprised BYD is not on here. These are heavily, heavily undervalued companies. And the question is, and I'm trying to communicate to all of you, is he's buying these stock, this company, because he sees value and growth in this sector. And the fact that Clover Health is trying to create a new form of technology that's already been created, that is set to revolutionize and cause, essentially decrease the cost of healthcare expenditure I think these missions entwine and overlap one another. I think there's something here, and we're just scratching the surface of it. There is a connection here, and I don't have all the pieces yet, but there is something here. Okay. But what we can do is we can look up the numbers for Molina and figure out why. Why did he buy Molina? So you could see, we'll just kind of look at here. Molina's free cash flow 2020, 2021. We're talking, $2 billion in free cash flow in 2021. But all of a sudden, their free cash flow fell down. Why? Right? In 2023, it went back up to 1.5 billion. But in 2024, it fell down. We need to do a deep dive and figure out what's going on with Molina. Why has their free cash flow been erratic? And I guarantee you, Dr. Michael Burry's bet is that they can get back to that $2 billion of free cash flow. Because it doesn't make sense. They got $19 billion of revenue in 2020, but $1.8 billion of free cash flow. But now they got $40 billion of revenue, but only $544 million of free cash flow. Why? Well, it has something to do with most likely the cost of expenses in healthcare. That could be a potential argument. But again, I'm speculating. I need to go deeper. Okay. Operating cash flow turned positive in 2019. Free cash flow turned positive in 2019. And net income turned positive in 2018. Remember that last video we made? So 2018 and 2019 were the turnaround for Molina. So let's see what was the stock price in 2018 and 2019. So it was around 55, whatever. It was not that bad. Then it soared once it became free cash flow positive and OCF positive. But you could see there was, it was a whoop. Here. Let me see here. Let's see here. Little bit of disruption. My apologies. What I was trying to what I was trying to look at here is look at the trying to figure out, is that the max? So 2003 Molina, it's just interesting, right? Molina was $13. I want to look at the financials from back then. I'm curious. Molina was around $13. And you could see 20. It's just interesting, Molina was around this much. And it gained about 20x. But I wanted to figure out what was the case with Molina. Because they were free cash flow positive back then, but they did turn negative. And then I would want to look at the numbers to figure out. Because now the book value is 77, but back then the book value was 29. So, honestly, the best way to do it, the best way to answer this question is just open up the AI tab for a generative AI feature. Open up the home page here. Open up the earnings transcripts generative AI section. Type in Molina. And then press the generate insights for the past 3 years. And then synthesize strategic transcripts intelligence for the past 2 years. Given that the last 3 years, the transcripts were long. And let's go ahead and analyze that. And then what else can we do? Because I want a deep dive right now. I'm curious. And again, I'm doing this live. I haven't done this. This is the first time I'm doing it with all of you. So let's make this a new tab and let's make this full screen. Again, it's all part of lifetime access here. That's all part of the website. So the average free cash flow here is around 1332. Whoop. Let me just reload this. It's interesting. And then free cash flow is this. And then I'm curious, the growth rate's 20. So I'm curious what the growth rate for Molina is now. They're growing around 20. Okay, that's reassuring. See, this is why the market's up. S&C's de-escalation with China. That's what we were talking about earlier. And a potential deal with India. Let's look up analysis. So they're expecting lower revenue growth, which is funny because that's funny. It doesn't make sense because they're growing more than this. So why are the analysts purposely being wrong? So now that makes me want to figure out why. Why are the analysts purposely being wrong? So let's open up this now. Let's open up quantum. Let's open up quantum chart. Let's open up Molina. Let's look up institutional ownership. And let's score it for 25 years. So back in 2003, institutional ownership was around 5%, 20%, and then it slowly has been rising. And something happened in 2013. Institutional ownership pretty much went from 45% to 96%. So what happened? What happened in 2012? What happened in 2013? Something happened in 2013. Institutional ownership went from 45% to like 96%. It's like they bought the whole company. So somebody sold. So what happened? Was it? Yeah, 2013. Something happened. What happened in 2013? So here's Molina. Let's see what happened. So the stock was $33 in 2012. That is so weird. Oh, wait, could it be? That doesn't make sense. The stock price dropped, but then it started going up, but then it just wasn't doing anything. People in a year only made 11. It was a stagnant year. So that's what happened. Retail investors got bored. They got bored. It wasn't that much of an investment. It wasn't. So there was a stagnant year here, and it allowed institutions to just buy the dip. Then right after they bought the dip, it rose to $76. Then they sold it back. Interesting. So it's weird. It's been, and that's kind of weird though. Institutions own 118% of this company. That doesn't make sense. That shows you that there's some type of synthetics here. There's some form of synthetics. So let me look at the short here. Doesn't make sense. They were very bullish here, but then they became bearish in Q2. They became very bearish here. So first they were bullish. The stock went up in Q2 of 2019. which was here, which is corresponding to this peak over here. But then the calls dropped, but the puts remain elevated. So 2020, they became bearish and the puts went up. So what happened? What year was that? So something happened in 2020. Yeah, that makes sense. That was the COVID drop. So that dropped. Again, not too much in comparison to the market. Let's take a look here. This makes sense. This was shorting. They were shorting the great financial crisis. There's a big short here. This makes sense. That was the transition where the stock started to drop. 2021 now. So I guess now is the perfect time to buy because the shorts have calmed down and now they're accumulating. Can you see there's these different phases and cycles? This is a put call. So the higher the number, the more bearish they're shorting the market. It goes literally, high, let's accumulate, high, back low, accumulating, high, sell, accumulate, high, make money, accumulate as the stock goes down, high, accumulate, high, accumulate, high, accumulate, high, accumulate. It's a cycle. So now they're on the accumulation phase, which makes sense. Okay, I just I'm doing this in real time, trying to see. Because that's weird. Look at the total number of invested. It's gone down. It's gone down, guys. They're letting go of the company, but that's just all of healthcare. Perhaps that's why Burry is doing a contrarian view. Let's reload it and let's see if we can still. Yeah, they're selling. They're selling right now. So if we look at the scoring system now, scoring system from Molina is bearish. Institutions are selling. Burry bought. Why did Dr. Burry buy when institutions and the rest of them are selling? Guys, I'm starting to believe that potentially Clover Health may have signed a deal with Molina. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Look at the revenue change from Molina. Let's take a look. Let's look at revenue. Let's remove this. That's probably what it is. Look at that big revenue change. Went from 34 billion to 40 billion. That's an extra $6 billion. That's what it is. So he's seeing that there's a lot of revenue now, but how much of that revenue is going to be dead money in terms of elevated MCR? You know what I mean? Interesting, guys. Because watch, when you type in Molina on the intrinsic value, you get this: a bull case of $1,100, a base case of $820, a bear case of $613, and the recession of $321. So technically, like, just look at that. It's currently trading at $321, isn't it? So Molina is currently trading at $321. So it's currently trading at its recession case. The bear case is 600, base case is 820, bull case is 1100. So I'm assuming that Burry, the Dr. Burry's trying to 1x or 2x his, maybe even 3x, right? His $8 million. So he's trying to turn 8 million into 16 or 32 million. Margins we have to look at. I saw that increase, but I need to figure out why. It could be an error. Doesn't make sense. The only way to look at it is to see this. There it is. So now it's running its financial analysis here. So let it run. I have to be on the screen for it to run, which is annoying. Wait a minute. Did they buy excuse me, did they buy Bright Health? They brought that? They bought Bright Health? No. I'm watching our AI analyze many years, like over 2 years of earnings transcripts and giving us the most important parts, almost like having a financial helper here. No, they did not. No, they did not. No, they did not. Do they really? Let me see. Hold on. Again, guys, I don't know Molina as much as you guys are. Molina buys Bright. Guys, remember Bright Health? It was Clover Health's competitor. Holy shit. Oh shit. Is that what it is? Is this really what it is? Bright Health finalizes MA sale to Molina and men's. Holy shit. Guys, we need to talk. You see, there's something. I'm telling you, there's a connection here, guys. There's a freaking connection, and I'm telling you, there's a connection. At closing, Bright Health's California Medicare business served over 109,000. But Bright Health's again, I don't know the answer to this. Let me see. No. What is the MCR of? I'm curious. I'm gonna see what this says here. Holy shit. Are you seeing this, guys? At the first quarter of 2023, Bright Health's medical cost ratio for its California Medicare Advantage business was 94%. It's important to know that Bright Health's, guys, what's Clover's MCR? Can someone put in the chat? See, they've sold to Molina. So you ask me, you all the people that are watching right now, you tell me. Answer this question. If Molina has now over 100,000 of new MA members at a Medicare, 94% to 90% MCR, then don't they need the counterpart assistant to help them manage these lives? Don't they need the counterpart to bring this down to over 1,000 basis points? Guys, I don't know. This might be the one in the pipeline, and it makes sense because we have their former chief financial officer in our board. So I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's a connection. Now, I mean, this is a rhetorical question. I know the answer to this one. What is Clover Health's medical cost ratio? And which one is better? And why is it better? Let's see if it knows. There it is. I think so. I think this may be it. You see here, as 2023, Clover reported MCR 81%, Bright Health's 89%. Which MCR is better? Clover's Health's lower MCR indicates more efficiency. And again, I already know this. I'm just trying to close the loop on this. And it attributes its improved MCR by technology-driven approach to the Clover Assistant platform. Let's upgrade the model. Let's upgrade this model to a thinking model. And again, I have access to the pro version. So Molina's former chief financial officer is now on the board of Clover Health. Clover Health just announced a subscription as a service for Counterpart. Do you think that because they went ahead and purchased Bright Health and their overall success in dropping medical cost ratio below, do you think it's possible that this may be in their pipeline, given that they already said they have a national insurance provider? What are the probabilities? I'm just curious to see what this thing is, because this thing can think. So I'm curious. Let's see here. Oh, secret incident. No, I mean, I'm just showing you guys how I kind of do my due diligence. You know what I mean? And just kind of think. And this is a new thing. I don't normally do this. I'm just curious. You don't need this to, to become a millionaire. I'm just curious because I'm trying to figure out if we may be able to, again, this is thinking. It's, it has thinking capacity, which is pretty impressive. You've mentioned possible synthetic shares on 2 streams in a row. How does that get rectified? You kind of just brushed over AMC's over 100% ownership last week. That's the thing. This game is not fair. It's not a fair game, and that's what it's not a fair game, right? Connect Care this year, Clover's MCR, exactly. So that I agree with you. So I don't know why it was having a higher MCR. Again, another error in AI. Let's see this one now.
In August 2024.
Okay. Estimated probability. Here it is. 10-20% chance they pivot into owning risk bearing for national MA plan within the next 12 to 18 months. It's a strategic fit. That's what I'm saying. So 60 to 80% chance they link up with a national insurance, United, Humana, Cigna, into the counterpart platform over the next year. So we'll see. So it's quite unlikely, less than 20%, that Clover will try to purchase or run a national Medicare Advantage insurance block itself. Okay, that makes sense. But very plausible that 60 to 80% that they keep growing counterpart SaaS footprint across major national payers. So I'm thinking, guys, again, there's a lot there's a lot of uncertainty here with they just need to release these freaking deals, okay? I'm telling you, there's a connection here. Okay. Now, in terms of Tesla, you're saying it's surging. Let's see. Okay, so it's going up. So that means Elon said something in the earnings call. What did he say? And the fact that it's surging, this shows me there's some form of a strategic bottom happening. Okay, so now that we have AI, and now the AI is pretty much, I got to be on the page. Every time I leave the page, it stops writing. Final assessment. All right, let's see. See, overall rating, strong buy for long-term growth. All right, so let's zoom in here and let's read. Let's read.
Molina Healthcare has demonstrated robust financial performance over the past 2 years, marked by strong revenue growth, disciplined cost management, and strategic expansion in Medicaid, Medicare, and marketplace segments. However, recent quarters have seen elevated medical cost trends, particularly Medicaid and Medicare, driven by acuity shifts, higher utility time, and lagging rate adjustments. Despite these challenges, the company maintains a solid CAPI-TL position, a clear growth trajectory, and embedded earnings potential that supports long-term profitability.
Again, I'm reading it first because again, this is the first time that I'm seeing this. I'm doing this live in real time so we can all benefit together. So however, recent quarters have seen elevated medical costs, which is why, BRAD, check this out, BRAD. It's true that the revenue's gone up, but if you compare it to their free cash flow, look at the free cash flow. Well, I mean, it's hard to do it when those numbers. Look at their free cash flow. You see how their free cash flow has gone down? It's because of the medical cost, right? Same thing with Humana. Watch. Look at Humana. Look at Humana's free cash flow. I mean, it's been literally going down, right? Even if you look at United Healthcare's, you see, it was growing up and it was resisting, and now it finally dropped. And then now Q1 of 2025, it's dropping even more. So So I think the whole industry is getting hit hard right now. Then you have Clover's just for the first time becoming positive. Even their Q4 was negative. So we can't even get mad at Clover being negative for Q4. I'm just looking at the quarterly. All right, let's zoom in a little bit more here. Key positives, as B-Rad Cooley pointed out, strong revenue growth and market expansion. Premium revenue, Molina achieved 19% year-over-year growth, reaching $38 billion, with expectations to hit $42 billion in 2025. Let me read the rest of this.
Secured major contract wins in Georgia, $28 annual premium, Michigan, fuel-eligible expansion, and Massachusetts. Increase in net earnings to $7.75 per share, up from $54 in early 2024, driven by acquisitions, NPC Care, and wins.
So there it is. They increased their earnings to $7 per share, and it goes back to their connected eye care, which I think, who mentioned it? Was it Master the Chin? Who? Someone mentioned. Yeah, Molina just bought connected eye care this year. There it is. And here's your connected eye care. Again, all part of the AI. You see how this cuts down the research process for me? I mean, I use this when I do due diligence, right? Let me see.
50% premium growth expected in 2025. With strong open enrollment, 545K members, up 35% YY. Consistently outperformed NLR targets, 75.4% in 2024 versus 78 to 80% target.
Guys, this is a big deal. They have 546K. They're about 5 times as large as Clover on the member basis. And so let's calculate per market cap, because I find that is interesting. Molina's market cap right now is 17.57 billion. Clover's market cap is 1.73 billion. So currently, because right now Clover just hit over 100K members, I'm curious to see. So Molina on the member basis is 5 times bigger, but their market cap is 10 times bigger. That doesn't make sense. And we know that we make more revenue than Molina if we were to have that. So let's actually figure that out. So Molina has around 546,000 members. If they make, if Clover had that, they would make around 15,000, which is equivalent to
$8,190,000,000.
$8 billion.
$8,190,000,000.
That doesn't make sense. That means there's other parts of their business, because Molina's revenue is still higher. 40 billion. So that's weird. Because they have Medicaid as well. Oh, strong open enrollment. So 546 members probably. So they probably have more lives. They don't have 546,000 lives. They probably have millions of lives. Who knows? I got to see. That one, again, I don't know. I need to look at their lives under management. This is where we're going to add a chat bot to this to be able to talk to the data. Let's see.
And efficiency maintained a 5.7% and ratio in 2024, reflecting strong fixed cost leverage. Risk corridor protection is
Medicare turnaround. Let's see.
Medicare turnaround. Right health acquisition on track for $1 EPS accretion by 2026, with NCR improving from 95% to 81%.
That is weird. Does everybody see this? B-Rad Cooley, what the hell are you? B-Rad Cooley, what the hell is this? Are people seeing this? Are people seeing this? You see, there it is. Molina's healthcare serves 5.8 million members. So that makes sense from their website. Yeah. That means they increased by 546,000 members. How many of those members were switchers? Just like the surge that Clover saw. So if they serves about 5.8 million members, let's put that in there. What is 5.8 million times 15,000? See how we go back and forth doing the due diligence? That's $87 billion. There it is.
87 billion.
That's a lot better now. That's double the revenue of Molina. That's how much Clover can extract from the members and still give them better health care. All right, but read this. Read this, guys. Read this. This doesn't, I'm telling you, I'm going to go ahead and tweet this right now. I'm tweeting this right now. Medicare turnaround. Bright Health acquisition on track for $1 EPS, with MCR improving from 95 to 87% for MOH stock. Did Molina sign a deal with CLOV stock? Because I am already seeing 1,000 basis point reduction. Speculation. Are you seeing what I'm saying?
Medicare turnaround. Bright Health acquisition on track for $1 EPS accretion by 2026, with MCR improving from 95% to 87% for $sign stock. Speculation. Did Molina sign a deal with $sign stock PCI? I'm already seeing 1,000 basis point reduction.
I think so too, B-Rad Cooley. Again, I don't know. This could be speculation. I don't know. I don't know. Could this be? Look at this increase. MCR improving from 95 to 87%. How are they doing that without a software? How are they doing that when everyone else's Medicare cost ratio is increasing? And how are they doing this? Could they have already signed a deal with Counterpart? Are they already using Counterpart? Doesn't make sense. Let's see.
Geopolitical focus. M5 rule changes favor Molina's Medicaid footprint, positioning it for DSNP growth. M&A execution. Successful acquisitions. Bright.
Okay, we got that.
Rate advocacy success. Secured $350 million of retroactive rate adjustments, 1,230.
So they got the retroactive rate adjustments.
BDS MLR benefit to offset cost pressures.
Full year 2024 MLR is 89%. X new stores above the long-term target of 87, 89. Higher utilization, which we know about from everyone. Q4 spiked to 93% due to outpatient utilization and risk adjustments, which we know about because that's what United Healthcare said. 2025 guidance assumes 89%, reflecting conservative pricing. Guys, if I was Molina now, I would sign a deal with Clover Health. Right? Lagging rate adjustments. Let's see. Medicare rate headwinds.
CMS final rates for 2025 were unfavorable industry-wide, pressuring margins.
Well, they just changed that. The margins are going to be good now because Donald Trump bailed everyone out.
Implementation costs and near-term earnings drag. $1 EPS impact in 2025. New contract launches. Georgia. Bright Health dilution expected in 2025 before reaching breakeven in 2026.
New contracts launches in Georgia. Aren't we in Georgia too? I don't know. Delays in Texas.
Method alignment rule. Medicaid NCOs managing DSNPs. Favored Molina's integrated model. Projected $36 plus revenue for dual expansions in Michigan, Ohio, and Massachusetts.
So what does my AI recommend? There it is. Again, this is a recommendation for, it helps. Again, if I was a company, this is what I want the company to do. The first thing, strengthen medical cost controls, expand value-based care, holy shit. Partner with providers to manage. I'm telling you guys, strengthen medical cost controls. How do they do that? The Clover Assistant, Counterpart Assistant. Accelerate share buybacks. Repurchase 500 million Q4 could continue. Enhance communication to investors. What else? 2025, 2026 growth phase, which is what Clover's doing. Again, I'm doing this live with you guys because I'm learning as I'm going with you guys. So here's the final assessment for Molina.
Molina Healthcare remains a high-quality managed care play with a unique Medicaid-led growth model. Near-term ML pressures are manageable, and the company's strategic focus on new eligibles, disciplined MA, and operational fee science positions it for sustained double-digit EPS growth. Investors should monitor 1. Medicaid rate finalizations in H1 2025. 2. Bright Health's path to break even. 3. Dual contract execution in Michigan, Ohio. Overall rating strong.
So how can Bright Health be a path to break even? They need the counterpart. That they need that, and every time they every time someone uses the counterpart assistant, then they're going to be able to get that data from, like, if they're in California, Bright Health, then they're going to be able to get that data, and then later on they'll be able to enter that market through their own MA plans. But I mean, if I was a competitor like Molina, I would make Clover sign a non-disclosure agreement or an agreement where they can't enter. You know what I mean? Because they'll have all that data. It's scary, honestly, for other businesses, because it's like, Clover's a pariah. That they right. Everyone's saying everything's skyrocketing. Is Trump? People are saying that Trump said that something with a deal or whatever. So, not a deal, or okay, there it is again, guys. Well, what did I say? Let's go back to the research edge. It's all part of the game, guys. Smart money's buying, dumb money's selling. It goes back to the game. What did I say here? Okay. Treasury Secretary Best said optimistic remarks of China help fuel a strong equity market rally with the S&P breaking even. Most likely, he probably said he's not going to fire Chairman Powell, because that's bad, because that pretty much breaks the biggest version of capitalism, which is predictability. Yes. Okay. Hello. Is a stock terminal that you show in your video available with the $70 a month subscription? So actually, okay. So what you see here, let me zoom out because it's kind of hard to see. What you see here, this is the premium stock terminal, right? This here is a part of the alstocktrades.com website. As you can see, we're able to gain a lot of information from this terminal and really paint a picture here, right? So everything that you see here is part of the premium version of the stock terminal. This is the generative AI add-on that you have access to the earnings and all this other stuff. To get access, so there's two different versions. Let me, because again, I know it's confusing, so let me just make sure we fix this. Okay. So here's the terminal of the website. So there's three versions. Okay. So you said $70 a month. I think you meant 60. So it's $59.99. So there's three different versions. There's the normal stock terminal, and then there's something called the advanced stock terminal, right? The mastering and the bundle gives you both the advanced, and it's lifetime access, one-time payment. This is the advanced stock terminal, and as you can see how it looks like, it's in green, right? It's like this. So this is only available for the mastering and bundle. But for the stock terminal, what do you get for this? To answer the question really quickly, because I need a break from talking about stocks for a little bit. To answer the question, this is kind of what you get. You get access to all this. You get access to your own, to a Bloomberg-like level stock terminal. So all you got to do is just type in help menu. You know what I mean? You could look at that. You could look at, let's say, price targets, look at, price target consensus, look at Apple. And it gives you kind of the price targets for Apple. You have access to this. You got access to algo flow. Let's say you want support resistance lines for Apple. We can go ahead and go to period. Let's look at the day. And again, it goes ahead and graphs you support and resistance lines for Apple, which is pretty damn accurate. You can see here, right? So you get access to, so that is what you get access to everything here. And the best way to look at it is the stock terminal here gets you access to the detailed stock terminal commands. This is all the stock terminal commands that you get for the normal stock terminal. These are all the commands. Look at all these commands. And if you want to look at them, you can preview and you can click on this. So it's available to you. So you can see, you get access to all of this with the $60 a month subscription, right? So you get access to all this. These are all commands to over 2.5 billion outputs of institutionally graded data, right? But you also have auto posting, bullseyes, and all these things, how it looks like, right? It gives you recommendations, right, with an AI confidence level, right? And all these things, right? You get access to all this. But if you want access to the premium terminal, which is, this, which is very popular, right? Very powerful. It's the silver and gold lion. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Trump is speaking. So, Trump is speaking. So let's go ahead and see what Trump is saying. Can I do that? Are you guys okay with me doing that? I know we're talking about, we're going to go back to Molina right now, but we did the pretty good analysis on Molina. Let's see what Trump's saying. Shall we? Wait, Clover Health announces changes to board of directors? What? When? Go for it? Okay, we're going to see with Trump? Okay. But wait, hold on. Before we move. Okay, we talk about Trump? Okay, let's talk about Trump. But wait, hold on, guys. Wait. What's going on with... Thank you for the clarification. I appreciate that. No, absolutely. Of course. Also, a lot of folks are messaging me about they're upset I didn't do an Easter sale. Honestly, I was thinking about it, but I was too busy enjoying Easter, you know what I mean? I went to church and everything. So okay. No, we'll do a coupon code No. Are you shitting me, JC? Where the hell is this? Why the hell am I hearing about this right now? What the hell is this, guys? You guys should be on this YouTube channel. What the hell am I doing here? What the hell is this? Did they post it? I don't see it here, guys. Guys, you've been saying the whole time? Where's the link? Somebody help me. Wait, maybe someone tagged me. Come on, guys. What the hell? See, I was focused on the due diligence. Holy shit. That's why I didn't know about it. It was 35 minutes ago. Let's see. Let me read this. So Lee Shapiro
will not stand for re-election at Clover Health's board due to new responsibilities. Thomas the 50th, Tran will assume leadership roles on Clover Health's board, ensuring financial integrity. Looking for the best stocks to buy. Follow the recommendations of top-performing analysts.
Ensuring financial integrity. I need the actual link. Can someone put it? It's on. Oh, of course, it's on our terminal. Okay, let me go because I need my. Come on, you're gonna have me log in. That's bullshit. Come on, dude. All right, hold on. What the hell? Let me see. Where? Holy shit. Okay, man. Hold on, before I open it. Let me give him a 420.69 on this one. All right. Give you some XP. All right, hold on. Let me see that. What's going on here, guys? Wait, what? Wow. That is so weird. You know what's funny? As soon as I turn on and make a live to talk about this connection, okay, guys, first off, I'm not full of shit. I've been on this live for an hour and 20 freaking minutes, okay? And then literally an hour ago, less than an hour, they're like, we got to make this, that is weird. Oh, give Shant some XP. Here, let me give some Shant, where are you, Shant? I'm gonna give you one. You got 1 point. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Let me see. I kid. All right. Wait a minute. So wait, but I want the link. Where's the link? Can someone give me the link? There it is, Shant. There it is. Holy crap. Holy shoot. Okay, let me read this. Let me read this. This. Nareev, we talked on the phone. What did I tell you? What the hell did I tell you? Makes sense. It makes sense why. You remember I made a video about this, but I had to take it down. But that's kind of sad, though. What, isn't he part of the home health? Let me see here. I got to remember their name. Isn't he? I need to get his picture. Hold on, guys. As you can see, investing is kind of boring. You know what I mean? You got to go through these things and kind of figures things out, you know? Okay, good. I like this guy. This guy needs to stay. Okay, good. It's not this guy. You know, I thought of Lee. I think of like as an Asian name, you know. So I thought I was gonna know. Okay, it's not this guy. Okay, this guy is good. This guy is very good. Okay, I like this guy. I'm like, no, they did not get rid of this guy. This guy, I like this guy's from Google. You would not get rid of this guy. Okay. Okay, so probably Lee's. I think the Shapiro is from the home health. Okay. All right. Let me figure this out. All right. Let me figure out what this is.
The company today announced that after 4 years of distinguished service, Lee Shapiro, a member of Clover Health's board of directors, has notified the company of his intention not to stand for re-election to the board of directors in light of new responsibilities related to his assumption of the chairmanship of the American Heart Association in the coming weeks. Shapiro will fulfill the remainder of his term as a member of the board of directors, ending his service as of June 10, 2025, the date of the company's 2025 annual shareholders meeting.
That's just politics. I don't. That's just a political answer.
It has been a privilege to serve on the Clover Health board of directors for the prior 4 years, said Lee Shapiro. I'm very proud. What else have been able to contribute in the role of the board, as well as what the company has accomplished in that same time span. I wish Clover continued even greater success in the future.
Doesn't make sense.
We are grateful for Lee's dedicated service and leadership on Clover's board of directors, said Andrew Toy, CEO of Clover Health. Throughout his tenure on the board, he has provided invaluable insight to advance the Clover mission. We thank him for his contributions and wish him the best in his future endeavors.
Okay, so Lee's gone.
Lee Shapiro has been an incredible partner to Clover, bringing a mix of discipline, heart, and experience that's hard to replicate. His belief in our mission and his leadership on board have helped us navigate critical chapters of our journey, said Vivek Pally, executive chairperson and founder of Clover Health. We are deeply grateful for his service and wish him every success in this next chapter. I'm also thrilled to see Tom Tran step into this expanded role. He brings deep expertise and judgment, and we're lucky to have him help guide Clover moving forward.
Guys, this is huge. This is huge. Again, I'm reading this for the first time, guys, so just excuse me. Let me just finish this off.
Mr. Shapiro serves as chairman of the audit committee and is nominated to the corporate governance committee. Effective June 10, 2025, Thomas Fiftieth Tran, a current member of the audit committee, will be appointed chairman of the audit committee and is a member and chairman of the nominating and corporate governance committee.
This is what he says. Let's see.
I'm honored to take on the role of chairman for both the audit committee and the nominating and corporate governance committee, said Thomas Fiftieth Tran, Clover Health board member. Building upon the strong leadership, I am committed to upholding the highest standards of financial integrity and transparency at Clover. I look forward to continuing to foster an environment of rigorous oversight, accountability, and ensuring that we serve the best interests of our stakeholders.
And we serve the best interest of our stakeholders, which is us, the shareholders of Clover Health. Ladies and gentlemen, this is huge. The fact that we got someone, formerly the chief financial officer of Molina, stepping in as the freaking chairman of the board. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? How the hell? And it's funny. What a joke. Don't tease me like that, Al. Bro, I'm not trying to tease you. I promise. Promise I'm not. It's weird. I posted this without even reading. This is from our AI. I mean, you saw me. My screen is, I see what you guys see, and you can see the whole live. I didn't know about no Tran stepping in. Guys, this may turn around to make it seem like Molina may have a deal with Clover Health. I don't know yet. I don't know. And if that's the case, then you know that this gentleman right here, my mentor, right, who has stake in Molina, is watching. This is very, very, very interesting. And remember, 5.9 million lives. And how many of those are MA? We got to do more due diligence. We got to peel back the onion. Tran is just chairing several committees. Exactly. I'm telling you guys, that means his responsibilities. Bro, don't get my going, right? I'm getting my going. You sent that. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Good. Let me go here. 1 point, no respect. I posted the link. No, I know. I was just messing with you. I gave you more than a point. I gave it to you. I'm kidding. I just like the joke, right? Give shit, right? It's happening, B-Rad. And yep, Tran deep connection with Molina. Guys, what you're viewing right now is a live that is unscripted, that is completely raw, that is literally dictated by the chat of both what's on the chat on YouTube and what's on Discord. Again, this is just pure analysis of stocks, and you see how fun it is. It's like a treasure chest. But the problem is you need access to the data. You need access to all this information to understand how to read the data. Like, how do I know why Michael Burry's buying? Oh, because the intrinsic value says it can 2x to 3x. You get it? All right. Now let's go ahead and turn to Donald Trump. What is he saying? What is that man saying? Trump live. Let's see. Someone said Trump was talking. Trump participates in swearing ceremony. Is it here? Is this it right here? Let me see. Hold on. This is it, right? 9 minutes ago. I don't know, guys. Is this the whole thing though? I want the whole thing. That was 5 days ago. Hold on. Trump speaking. Anything on No, these are just bits. We got to go back to YouTube. This is it right here. There it is. Okay. So let's watch this to see what the hell's going on. Let's see. How do I do that? Stop the sharing of the screen. Let's just kind of see what's going on real quick. What did he say? Perfect. So then we'll be able to reach back out on that then. Perfect. Perfect. And then look out for any deals on YouTube as well. Let's see. Oh, exactly. Well, that's the reason why is because Oscar just turned net income and free cash flow positive. Clover is just free cash flow positive. That's the answer. Sure, it's nice and simple.
To Paul, his wife, Sarah, and his entire family who are with us today. Thank you very much and congratulations. Great job. Great job. We're also grateful to be joined by our Secretary of the Treasury, who's doing the easiest job. I think it's probably the easiest job right now in government, would you say? Companies are coming out of the countries, are coming from all over. They want to just sign. We're doing okay. But you're doing really well. Thank you very much. Scott's going to be doing the swearing in. No one in America is more highly qualified to lead the SEC in this exciting time than Paul. He's devoted his entire life to the cause of free, clear, pro-growth, and pro-innovation securities markets. After graduating very, very high in his class, I will tell you, Vanderbilt University School of Law, Paul began a distinguished career practicing securities law in New York City before joining the staff of the SEC in the 1990s. In 2002, Paul was appointed as the commissioner of the SEC, a commissioner, and wrote it rode that to it fairly well. He was so respected. He was a role which he promoted economic freedom and represented the agency at the U.S. EU Transatlantic Economic Council, highly respected the World Economic Forum and the Transatlantic Business Dialogue. After completing his term in 2008, Paul began a successful consulting practice and continued to advocate for a common sense approach to securities regulation. Extremely complicated stuff, and he put a lot of common sense and saneness into it without heavy-handed bureaucracy and the harming of investors and workers and consumers and, frankly, our country itself. Paul has also been a leader in the emerging crypto and blockchain industries and served as co-chair of the Digital Chambers Token Alliance. He's the perfect man to lead this agency to.
Okay, again, guys, I'm not really. This is not something. It's just a swearing ceremony. Is that not it? Okay, so we don't have to. It's like 30 minutes. This is not going to be conducive, I would say. It's just okay. That makes sense. Okay, all right. We'll just remove this. Let me just sign here. Let me just go back here. Let's see what Yahoo Finance says. Anything with Trump? Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. Because he has to dial back. Because Japan, watch, so you can see this. Japan says they have no interest in something like this. Japan says no plan for big concessions in U.S., right? So Trump has to dial back his tone because, frankly, people are not really want to make a deal as much as what people were saying. Trump tariffs lives. Trump says China tariffs won't stay at 145. Beshan hints de-escalation. So that's good. Trump, I have no intention of firing Fed Powell. He needs to say that because you need to shut your mouth, man. Because okay, listen, I know there's a lot of Donald Trump supporters, right? But here's the problem, okay? Let me tell you, as someone who's an independent, who obviously don't agree with Democrats and don't agree with Republicans, let me tell you something, okay? You do not say you're going to fire the chairman of the Federal Reserve, okay? The chairman of the Federal Reserve is an independent agency that is not politically swayed. As soon as you make it political, that's it. You just destroyed the capitalistic markets, okay? So let's see here.
The only problem he has Jay Powell and the Fed. He's like a golfer who can't putt, has no touch. Big US growth. He does the right thing, big cut, but don't count on him. So far, he has called it wrong and only let us down.
So that was in 2019. The let me see what any more quotes. Okay, that's pretty much it. I have no intention of firing Fed Powell. That's it. That's it. So the market's going to even be higher now. The VIX, if it was even open, it would be up even more. Imagine Palantir is probably up like crazy now. Palantir's up another 3% off of the 3% they were up today. So they're at $96. Tesla's probably surging off of whatever Elon said and what Trump said. So that's another $9. That's another 4% on top of the 4%, which is $8. Clove today is up 1.8 and is only up another 1.8. Sorry, 1.81. So, not too much. Let's look, Molina. Let's look at Molina. Molina's up, right? Right. After hours, no movement, sleeping. Oscar is up a little bit. Again, healthcare has not really been doing well. Let's see United. United is up again, just kind of a mere reflection of itself. Still obviously down. So, no one's really touching it right now. Humana, again, good jump, but again, not really, still kind of recover, but nothing on the after hours here. So, okay. So I think for the purposes and respects of time, we'll do another one of these videos, but this time we'll focus on why Michael Burry purchased Oscar. Okay, we'll do a separate video on that. But in short answer, some people might ask, Al, tell me why. Please tell me why do we see castles in the sky? You know that song? So the reason why is, look, for the first time ever, right? Or this year, they were net income positive and free cash flow positive. The reason why he didn't buy Clover is because Clover is still net income negative and free cash flow positive. You see? So that's why, right? I'm really excited. Look at the gross margins for Clover. These gross margins are doing real good, guys. Look at that increase. Just look at them. Just look at these gross margins. Okay. All right, guys. So pretty much that's what I have. For Molina, we could do an advanced technical analysis utilizing our AI engines. It's a 2 to 3, but or actually no. Screw the AI engines. Let's do a Monte Carlo. So we're looking at bull case 327, 371, 418, 507, 770, 773. Yeah, so I see what Burry's seeing. Yeah, but also you have to look at one thing. I agree with you. That's very astute of you to recognize that. But there's one thing you need to also recognize. The founder of OSCR, is Joshua Kushner. Who is Joshua Kushner? Who's his relatives? Jared Kushner. Who's Jared Kushner? His wife is married to Ivanka Trump. Who is Ivanka Trump? Her father is Donald Trump. Who is Donald Trump? Well, he's the president of the United States. See that connection? Right? So, and obviously he's very critical of ACA, but not when it probably suits his family's interest, So we'll see, So, welcome to Wall Street. Welcome to Wall Street, guys. Welcome to Wall Street. All right. So again, the whole point of this channel is to show truth, right? It's to help you get to this level to where you are an investor as well. Okay. This was a very crazy live. I need, we were talking about Molina and then freaking Clover. We just were talking about this, and then now Clover posted a news that this guy is going to be taking over as some of the stuff. So that's pretty cool, right? Oh, and then you got like a 5K bonus for every mom having kids. That's another thing I read about today too. So that's pretty, how many Clover shares is that, right? I mean, honestly, I'm talking to my girl and I'm like, well, I'm just kidding, right? They shouldn't advertise it as 5,000. You know what they should say? Imagine if Clover was 60 cents, right? 8,300 shares of Clover for every child you have. No. Imagine, right? Imagine. Is this really true? I can't believe it, right? I read it. So, all right, guys, that's all I have for you. I hope this video was of your liking. We're gonna have to go a little bit more deeper on that, but at least we did the fundamental analysis for Molina, and I think I think we're on to something. I think the market's slowly healing off, and this is a pretty damn good. We're on the right track, right? The fact that this guy's invested in the healthcare space, especially with Molina, we're on the right track. Okay. He also has HCA Health too, as well. Okay. All right, folks. Privilege and honor. I'll see you on the next one.